This is the Lego Slave One. And this is a heavily modified Slave One with a full interior. I've always loved Slave One and just the unique ship that it is. It's just such a cool ship for such a cool bad guy in Boba Fett. So if we take a look inside, Boba Fett sits up here, but there's actually room in the cockpit for 2 more. And you can see that there, that actually Boba sits up in front of the cockpit, but there's 2 more that can sit behind him. And it is just a really roomy cockpit now. It was vastly widened up, and I did not focus on the mechanic of the cockpit twisting. We don't actually see that on film, and in the prequels, Kid Boba Fett actually sits down to get into the cockpit. I did some more investigating, and if you go watch Disney Gallery behind the scenes of Mandalorian, they even show a schematic and talk about how the pilot does not rotate, but the area down below does. And you can see it right here. This does rotate up, but it obviously won't do so with the glass in place. And below, you can actually see that there is room down below. And if we take this off the stand, there is actually some passengers or prisoners in the back of the ship or down below the cockpit area. So this was the hardest part, is getting an area down below that swings with the ship. That was my main focus. We do see the area down below the ship turning in The Mandalorian Season 2, and that's what I was trying to achieve here, where you can see the people down below. It only seats 2 down there, and it is very tight, but it is achieved here in this build. Typically, I do not like handles or anything extra on a ship, but I think it works really well having a handle on the Slave One. I kept it not only for the function, but also being able to see the people in the storage area. It's very similar to Lego's build because it's an excellent build. Lego made a fantastic build in their Slave One, but my focus is tiling it all off, making it as detailed as possible, but really the hardest part is the interior. So if we take a look at the hatch here, it is pushed down right here for the ramp, so that way the minifigures can walk in, but then there's a little lever up here that allows you to open up the top half of the hatch. And you can now see inside, and you can pose minifigures going into the Slave One. But you can reset it. You can just pull back the lever here, which pulls down the top half, and then there's a little button underneath down here that you push, and it will go back up. So push down, push up, push down, push up, and push back, pull front, push back, pull to the front. This idea of this top hatch was actually from Brick Upgrade, so thank you. And it's just a really ingenious design, and I love just how it opens up the ship, because that's one of my biggest problems with the Lego design is like, it's a completely unusable interior. And this interior is not the most usable. It is so tight, but it's actually there. It is actually possible to get minifigures in there. It is a pain to get them in there, but they're there. Here we go. We're gonna take out one of the prisoners, and it helps to hold the other side with your hand to stabilize it while you reach down there and try to get them out. So, okay, there we go. And a lot of times they'll come out with the seat, which is fine. I like to put them in with the seat when I do this because it's just easier that way than try to line them up on the seat. So not only did I want this set to be very model-like, but I wanted to be very playable. You could take it down from its display, and you could easily set up Boba Fett with the figures of the prisoners walking onto the ship with it, fully displayed, pushing back the openings, so that way you can see inside that the prisoners are going in there. So now the really tough part of putting the figure that's closest to the door or the hatch. This is not fun, but it is possible, and here it goes. Actually, that was actually one of the smoothest times I've ever put it in the minifigure. He's in there. He's actually sitting in there. It is not that easy usually. I am shocked I was able to get it in there that quickly. I was kind of lucky. I had to hold it up with my other hand from below and then go in there. So it helps having real skinny fingers to go in there, but it actually worked, and that was the toughest one. So now I'm gonna put it on the other guy over here. and boom, I got him. Wow, that was actually one of the smoothest instances of putting the two guys in there. I did want to make note that when they're both in there, it can't swing all the way down when the hatch up here is open, so you got to close that hatch so that way they can swing properly into place, and they did now. And I know this is very hard to see, but they are in there now, and they are swinging correctly. Let me get this put back together, and I'll show you how the stand works, which is custom built for this design, and that is the best way to display the Slave One. And this stand goes up into the handle and goes into the abscess area of the hatch, and the handle closes down over the stand and it latches onto it. So that way it's very secure on this stand, and it's really not going anywhere. So that really gives you an extra layer of protection, because when it's displayed vertical like this, I was a little worried that it might fall off, but I really do love having this extra security of this little latch on here, so that way it's not going anywhere. All right, guys, so this is my mock, and I hope you enjoyed this, and if you want to build this, it is available on Rebrickable, and let me know what your thoughts are on this mock. I look forward to doing more of these in the future, and I like fixing Lego set models. So I'll take something the Lego group made, and I'll make it better, more like a Star Wars fan wants to see, but also make it playable in a play scale size, but having UCS details. So that's what I'm all about. And if you like that as well, please let me know and help share this. So that way it lets me know to create more content. Hope to see you again.